everyone, I'm Grahtles and welcome to my first ever episode of Skyline 6. So this is Morato on the beautiful map that Carina made, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I really cannot wait to jump in and get started in building. But before I do that, let's go ahead and check out what everyone's done. So over in here is the beginning where Steven started, and he gave us a really great start, and I'm loving the angles in which these blocks were built. They look so good. And Joy gave us our first little city park, did a whole bunch of detailing around the roads. Shukaboa gave us some forestry industry, which is super nice, and he made this nice overpass. Over here, Raid Kitty made a special little marketplace, and due to having a lot of commercial, had to fill in quite a bit of residential, and that looks so good. And last but not least, Valley put in this farm and this beautiful viewing tower up here. So, what shall I do today? I think today we'll go ahead and we'll look at some of the needs we have, and then we'll start our build. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to take a look at is our electric. And that seems okay, but it's running pretty close to the edge there. Let's take a look at our budget. And yeah, we're actually pulled up on the budget. So we're going to turn that back down to 100, and we're going to add in some electric. So some of our options are another oil power plant. That gives us 120. But do we have any greener options? We do. We do have the geothermal power plant. So let's go ahead and take a look where we could put that. It doesn't pollute, so I'm thinking right across from maybe the helicopter depot here. So let's go ahead and grab it, and we'll pop it in right in here. And yeah, I think that'll work pretty well. Let's take a look at these electric lines while we're here, because I don't think we need them anymore. Yeah, Valley probably needed them to just shift this power over, so we can get rid of these right up to there, and get rid of that one, and possibly even that one. Okay, let's go ahead into water. So we are using water towers, and we have one sewer down in here, the inland water treatment plant. So it doesn't look like we'll fit any water treatment plants down in here. Let's come over to where our polluting is and maybe just pop one in here for now. I think that makes the most sense. It doesn't take up a lot of space there, and it's kind of out of the way with the polluting industry anyway. Let's go into the water again, and we're going to need a couple of more water towers. So let's see. We have 2 on this hill here. How about we come up by Valley's area, and we just add 1 or 2 up in here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And the electric quad, so perfect. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our medical, our fire, our police. Just make sure everything is up to par with everybody. Alright, so I think we've done a pretty good job at fulfilling most of the needs for our citizens. And let's jump into today's build. Alright, so here we are. And for today's build, I think we're going to focus in on this area down in here. We have a huge demand for some residential, and we do not want to touch this. So when Carina made the map, she made this little area right here. I'm gonna say these were the first people that had ever lived in Morato, and these houses are basically the remnants of what's left of the old settlement. So we're gonna keep that as maybe like a little park, tribute to them, maybe a little restoration area. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with the road layout. And let's bring this road, let's come into here, and let's just see if we can curve it out and around and do something with this one as well. We'll come to here, come down, and come up, down, around, and into there. Alright, so now we have some roads laid out, and I think what we'll do is, why don't we make a residential area in here and in here, and possibly make this into some kind of nice little restoration park, or, you know, just include this into a park area. So this way it doesn't get touched and it's kind of there historically. So maybe we'll do a nice little road. Nothing too curvy. Something straight right down in there. So in here, this is Woodland Hills. So this is part of our forestry area, and we have some recycling. What I'm thinking is, let's do a little village in here and here, and this will be Woodlands Village, just for the workers that work in Woodland Hills. So let's go ahead and put a district on that. And let's grab this one, just bring it into here, just slightly to finish off that high school there. And what I'm thinking is, we're going to cut through here and maybe put a cemetery in here that's part of this Woodlands Village. There we go. Let's go ahead and put a road across the back behind this high school. We'll grab gravel roads, and we'll take this one. We're just going to put a straight line right across there and pop in another cemetery right about there. Let's make sure we have some water down here. We're going to need it for our residential area, as well as our little park area down here. So I guess we'll just go ahead and run all the water. Alright, now that we have all our water run, let's continue with these gravel roads in this area and this area, and just make a nice little layout for some nice little houses for our village. Alright, so now that we have most of the roads in, let's just add a couple of little parks and gardens to the area. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and fill in some of this and start putting it on 3-speed. So before I go ahead and fill in all of this, I'm going to go ahead and fence this in with some forestry fencing. I'm thinking because it is part of the forestry area as far as the workers go, that they probably set this all up and put in the fencing. I also think we'll add just a little elementary school right into here, just to cover them. There's a high school right here, so they'll be able to get there. But we don't want the little kids walking too far, because they're little. Just fill in back here. I think that'll be good. Actually, the school is surrounded by a hedge, so I think we can fill in all of this and that. Let's go down and do the same thing to here. Let's fence this off a little bit and start filling in these areas. Alright, just taking a look at this high school, let's just see what kind of parks are around here. So not too many going on, so I think what we'll do is, let's move this high school down just a tiny bit. We'll add a tennis court and a basketball court, and that should fulfill the needs for some of the park. But we can't put that road in right there, but now we can sneak one in right there. So let's do that. There we go. And let's just put in a basketball and a tennis court here. There we go. We made a lot of people happy with that. Super happy. Let's go ahead. I think we'll fence off this high school. Alright, so I think we filled out a pretty good amount of residential. And I think we'll keep these in the dirt roads. I don't know if anybody wants to change it, they can. But yeah, this is just kind of like for this area. So let's go in and then start working on our little city park / restoration kind of area. And what would good with this is, I'm thinking the birds and bee haven. I'm thinking that some people could possibly jar their own honey maybe, and we can connect this road to this. So let's go ahead and do that with our paths. Alright, so let's go ahead and find a main gate. So this is a small main gate. I think we'll pop that right there. And this is a side main gate. Now I think we have to paint the area first, but let's just see. Yeah, I think this will fit nicely here. So let's go ahead and paint the area. And let's go ahead and grab that side main gate. And let's connect the paths back up. Alright, let's go ahead and put in a fence. Alright, let's go ahead and put in some assets in the park. Alright, so I think this park is done. Let's go ahead and rename this. This is going to be Woodland Park. There we go. And again, we kept our first little hint of our first settlement years and years, and maybe 100 years ago, I don't know, but they're there. Let's come over to this space here, and this is going to be the last of our builds. Let's take away some of these trees. Alright, so I think right across the street from this park would make a nice place for a unique building. And the one I'm thinking about is the driving range. So I just thought this would look really good right across the street here. And probably as centered as we can get it, like there. So this way they can go right across the street and go to the driving range. Now I am going to do a little trick of upgrading the road here. So now we have a nice crosswalk for them to come on either side, and they'll be able to get into the golf range. So that's perfect. So in this area, let's go ahead and add 2 roads. I think we'll add a tree-lined road. Let's turn on snapping. And we'll do one on this side as well. I can actually upgrade the roads there and there. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this road now, because I forgot that I was going to add in these roads here. So by doing this and that, now I can draw this road in here, and now I'll be able to bring this road across and upgrade it to the tree-lined one. I think I'm going to put a road across the back of here, like that. And I'm going to go back into the unique buildings, and I'm going to find a small building that I could use as a sort of country club kind of thing. What is this one? This is the tax office. Let's see how this one would look. It's not perfect, but I can't think of anything else right off the bat, so I think we'll use it. Let's go off into the sides here, and let's go into parks, and let's grab our basketball courts. Just like that. On the other side, we'll do some tennis courts. There we go. Next, let's go behind here, and let's fill in some trees, and some fencing and some trees around in here. Maybe some walking paths. Alright, so here we are, and we finished our build today. And we did a nice residential area here, a residential area here, a nice park with a little bit of historic value right in here, and our golfing range with our little country club, which is the tax office, and that's okay. We have our tennis courts, our basketball courts, and just some nice grounds that they can walk around in. So we did add a cemetery. We added to the electric and the water, and I think we filled out this area quite nicely. All right, so with that being said, I think we're done with our episode every Sunday. Don't forget. And I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share. Come check out our Discord. Next week, guest builder, Ak Original. And thanks. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.